First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who grew well. And I also like to give honors to the Akim that's out here pushing his truth and sincerity to the four corners. Just want to say shalom and shalom. Man, you know, I just want to talk about how, man, we always cry to the Most High. We cry to him every time we need something. But every time he bless us, we don't thank the Most High. We don't call on him when after the blessing. You know? It's like we only call on him when we want something. You know? That's just like me. You my friend, right? You my buddy. We cool. But the only time you see me is when I got my hand out when I need something. Pretty soon you're going to be like, look, man, look, every time I see you, you always got your motherfucking hand out and you always want something. But when you got something, you hard to find. And that's how it is with the Most High, man. That's how it is with the Most High. We call on the Most High when we in trouble. But when we doing okay, we never call on him, nor thank him, nor give praises to him and keep his law. You know? We do things just well enough to get a blessing from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Then after that, what do? What do we do after that? We mess up. You know? And it be intentionally. Our people always crying to the Most High when we messed up. But when he blesses us, we go back to our sinful deeds and nature. I'm going to give you this is Matthew 15:8. It says, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth and honoreth me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. They claim that they love the Most High with their mouths, but they don't do nothing to prove what they saying. You know? And the scriptures say this. You know, it's saying this right now. This is John 14:15. He said, you know, but if you love me, keep my commandments. People always talking about how they love the Most High. Oh, I love the Most High. I love God. But he told me this is how you prove you love him. You got to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. And this is for the Israelites. Because that's who gave the laws to. So he wants you to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You can't walk around talking about you love Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, but you're not keeping the laws and trying to keep them to the best of your ability. So if you love him, you know, you approve it by obeying what he said to do, which is keep the law. And this is what our people have always done. And the Most High don't like it. Why you think he always tell us, I am the one who brought you out of the land of Egypt? He always say this. You know, and the reason why he say this is because he wants you to know, man, you know, out of everything that I ask you to do, and how do you repay me? Treachery, transgression, sin, you know? And he said, but I'm the one that brought you out of the land of Egypt. He always say this. I'm going to give you some instances to back up what I'm saying. This is Exodus 20:2. He said, I am Yahweh thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt and out of the house of bondage. So he brought you out of Egypt, out of the land where we were held captive and slaves at. He brought us out of that and performed many miracles before in the sight of Pharaoh to do it, because he didn't want to let our people go. Here's Deuteronomy 5:6. It said, I am Yahweh thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Same thing. Here's Psalms 81:10. And it says, I am Yahweh thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it. So all we got to do is obey the Most High, and he's going to bless us. And keep the law, statutes, commandments. But we can't do that. We can't do that. We too busy trying to be like do what everybody else do. This is Micah 6:4. He said, for I brought thee up out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed thee out of the house of servants. And I sent before thee Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. So, you know, these are the things that he did to redeem us, man. And we don't even appreciate it. You know? He says this over and over again because he wants us to know, I did this for you, but you won't keep my commandments. And we always say, we love the Most High. So what happened? His anger burned against us. And he gave us an ultimatum. And this is what he said. This is Deuteronomy 28:1. He said, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken, which means listen, diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations. How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
And so, it said above all nations of the earth. So he said, look, if you obey me and keep this covenant, which I made with you, these are the things that I will do, you know, in return. And so he said, then he said, but if you don't keep my laws and commandments from this day forth and honor our covenant, this is what will happen to you. This is Deuteronomy 28:15. And it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all the curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And all of the hardship and curses our forefathers endured in Jerusalem, and Assyria, and Africa, and Assyria, and America, and Mexico, and Jamaica, and Haiti. Salaki. And Haiti, and the continuation of those same curses, we're enduring them right now, as promised by the Most High. But why? Because this is what he said about us. And this is Isaiah 30:9. He said that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh. So all he wanted us to do is keep the law, but we would not do it. This is 1 John, 2nd chapter, 4th verse. So he walked, so he waited and we kept doing evil in the sight of the Most High. And so this is what he said. This is Deuteronomy 32:30. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith. So he already knew that we was going to mess up. You know, the Most High knew everything.